live. I'm so glad I'm talking to Fawn right now as I apply my makeup, right as we're about to start this program. You know, it's all about being here for it, and literally just got off another call, hopping on to talk to Fawn. I'm here for it live with Fawn McClintock. And I mean, am I doing it right? Is that how you're supposed to apply your
Yes, you got it. You got it.
got it down?
Good job.
But I am I will be a continuous, always learning person. That doesn't make any sense. That's not a sentence, but whatever. And I'm here with Fawn, and most people do know Fawn as the most incredible makeup artist. And but tell us more about you, Fawn. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yes, I have been doing makeup. It's what seems like forever. Always been into it. Back into Avon days when we didn't have Ulta and Sephora. But I've been specializing in wedding makeup for about 7 years now, and I just started from the ground up and got to the point where I am now, where I'm a wedding specialist. I've booked out the whole season last year and this year, and I'm already booking into next year.
Wow, that's exciting. People are getting married.
Yes.
That's awesome. But like, you don't just do weddings. You're also a mom. You have another job. You also do. I mean, so tell us more about that. Like, because you're not just you're just not the wedding person.
Yes, I'm not. I'm not just a makeup artist. I do have an 8-year-old daughter. I am divorced. So I am, I am in a relationship, but I'm a single mom raising her, co-parenting and everything else.
You could do a course just on that, I'm sure.
Pretty much. I don't know if I'm the best at it, but I also work a full-time job during the week in an office. And my background really started working in, I worked in an office for a long time, and I decided to make a major career change and went to hair school. So I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I went to Paul Mitchell in Schenectady and graduated from there. And I started doing, when I was working at a salon, all the girls were all into makeup, and they always had their makeup done amazing. And I kind of just fell in love with that from there and started building my career as a makeup artist from there. So
that's awesome. So what I want to also talk about too is like how you got started. I mean, I know you just said you went to Paul Mitchell and it just kind of stemmed from there. But, I think a lot of times we lack the courage to go after it and to do the thing that we really want to be doing, or that's something that we feel really passionate about. And my whole like MO is like, you leap and then you look and you figure it out on the way down. And, chances are very high that once you're to that point, a net will appear out of thin air and you'll figure it out. So yes. I've always taken that path. But tell us more about your journey and how you actually, you got the business license and you did all the things to really start to put yourself out there as a business.
Well, like I said, I was working at a salon. The girls that I worked with were amazing. They were all into makeup. It's kind of when YouTube started coming out with all the, YouTube makeup artists and tutorials. So I started watching them and really starting to do an experiment with my own makeup and products. And then another salon that I worked at, the owner kind of made me like the makeup artist of the salon and brought in a makeup line. She sent me for training for airbrush makeup in New York City. And the girls that I worked with at that salon started using me with their clients that they were doing hair for wedding and referring me to do the makeup. So I did a couple weddings and I loved it. And eventually I ended up leaving salon life to stay home with my daughter. I stayed home with her for 6 years. But the weddings was something that I could do on the weekends and still make time for. So I at that point in the beginning, I kind of said yes to everything and everyone just to build a portfolio and just started putting myself out there, which to me is, when I think about it now, is crazy because I have such social anxiety and nobody ever really knows it, but I really do. Like inside, I'm dying.
What
But on
about
the
right now?
outside,
Do you feel like you're dying right now?
yes.
No.
But on the outside, I don't portray that. So,
Well, you do a very good job. You're doing great. And like this is what it's all about. You know, like video is the future. You got to put yourself on video. You got to share your story. And I
right.
mean, again, for me, I remember when Marcella and I went live the very first time, I was an absolute basket case. I was like shaking. I was so nervous.
Yes.
And you know, practice, you just keep doing it and keep doing it. And then the other thing that kind of makes me feel like more calm is that like most people watch this, you know, or watch the replay, you know what I'm saying? And then they stop watching it and we just live in such a consumer world that like they're onto something else. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
Mhm.
you know, hopefully for me, I feel like I hope that people can get some sort of like nugget of wisdom or, you know, some inspiration or encouragement for the second that they're watching, you know?
Right.
But you know, I really just think you're doing great. You're doing great. And like what you have to share with the world is so important and so impactful. And I mean, if it's my duty in life to pull this out of you, well, then so be it. I also think you have a daughter, right? You want her to grow up to be super confident and proud
Yes.
of herself, and so you have to demonstrate that yourself and share it, so it'll be inside of her when she's growing up.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know, you talked about this a little bit with the girls that you worked with at the salon and how supportive they were. So I would love for you just to talk about the importance of having a network of people to support you, to encourage you, because when you do get inside your own head and you start to like, oh my God, I am not going to go live today at noon
Right.
on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Like, who's going to watch this? Oh my God, freaking out. You do need somebody to like reel it back in and say, listen, you got this. You have to do it, because you know people need to hear what you've gone through and your story, and someone will get something out of it. And if one person gets something out of it, like that is enough for me. So tell us more about how you've surrounded yourself with people, like at the salon, at Palette, you know, in general. I think feel like you have like a, you know, you must have somebody and people around you to help you
I do.
do it, right?
Yes. I've learned along the way that you definitely need support teams and supportive communities. And I learned that big time through my divorce during COVID. And that's actually when I found Palette and first joined. And I can remember being on with Marcella and literally breaking down in tears. And I was just in such a defeated place in my life. And just a phone call with Marcella was, you know, it just was uplifting. And joining the community at a time in my life like that was important. I also made the decision to buy the home that my ex-husband and I were living in. It was a stretch for me to do, but I wanted to stay in my neighborhood. My neighbors, one of my good friends, it's been a support neighborhood really for me and my daughter. They've been there for us so much. But I definitely want to say that the beauty industry has really come a long way as far as being, how do I put it, like working together with each other instead of against each other. I feel like years ago it was kind of, you know, cutthroat and you would never refer anyone or work with other stylists or makeup artists, things like that, where now we all come together. I'm constantly referring other makeup artists if I'm not available. I'm reaching out to fellow makeup artists for their advice, for their help, for suggestions. And all of us are more than willing to do that for each other. And I think it's so wonderful that we've kind of created an industry that's now a community.
Yeah. I mean, and I I see that on my end too, as you know, as a consumer of the beauty industry. You know, it's really nice to see women supporting each other like that.
Mhm.
You know, another really good friend of mine, her husband, they started like an entire like an association for the beauty industry, people in the beauty industry, because there's a lot of struggle, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of single moms, you know, hustling and working like themselves to the breaking point, and there's really no resources and support as a collective, you know. So
Right.
it's you've all had to come together on your own, and so I think that that's so great. And I mean, we're never going to not consume the beauty industry. I mean, like women
Right.
are obsessed with it, right? So I mean, that's a whole nother conversation we can probably get on. It's probably like a toxic relationship, but it's really cool to see how everyone's coming together. And it's just the notion that like there will always be more consumers than there are creators, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
and there may be people who come to you who are like, oh, I want you to be my wedding makeup person, and it's not that you're not available, it's just that you don't want to work for that person, you know,
Right.
or you just don't vibe with them and you don't think that they're going to be the best client for you, and vice versa, or you're not going to be able to deliver on their expectations.
Mhm.
And so it is sometimes in that situation best to refer them to somebody who's going to get along more appropriately with them.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us more about, you have been using Palette as obviously like a place to go and do the makeup, like what do you call them? Like sessions or whatever, or practice runs on
Mhm.
makeup. If you ever need someone to practice on, I'm here for you. Just so you know.
Yes, I could use. I would love to get more into creative makeup. I specialize in weddings, but I really do everything. Um, and I started working with some photographers and doing photo shoots and things like that. And I found a passion in that area as well. And that's something that I'm working on to build more of and try to get my portfolio built a little bit more of, that creative editorial style makeup instead of just specifically weddings.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel like the possibilities are endless, right? I mean, there's no end to the opportunities that you can build on, and it's a skill set that like I do not have. Like I may be able to put, you know, like
Mhm.
we're on like digitally, you can't see the real story that's happening. Here I'm like, there's a reason why I wear eyeglasses, so you can't see how ridiculous my eyebrows look. I
Right.
mean, it's like there's like definitely not my skill set. So I'm so grateful to have people like you who do this and that I can call on to like help a sister out. And you know, you not everyone has like the opportunity to do a photo shoot, you know? So, I mean, we do this with our headshot parties, right? Like
Yes.
usually when you get a headshot, it's like you're by yourself in some studio. There's like a photographer, and if they're not very good at it, they like don't give you much feedback. And I can just remember like one of the first headshots I had, I was just like, wow, that was so uneventful. And like I'm now a nervous wreck of how this is going to come out. So now when we do headshots, it's like it's a party. It's a headshot party.
Yes.
We bring in style, we bring in makeup, we bring in like multiple photographers, and obviously everyone being there creates
Mhm.
like an entire just vibe. And you know, you have like a bunch of hype people to like, you know, and then the photos come out so beautiful because you are so confident. And the
Yep.
last, not the last one we did, but the one before that we did, I told the makeup artist, this predates you being a member to Palette, but I told her, I was like, can you make me unrecognizable?
And see, I'm that kind of person. Like when I go and get my makeup done, I want to look completely different. Where my brides are like, I want to look like myself, and I want, and just with a little change and a little pop or whatever. But I'm like, no, go all out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and when you have somebody who's doing your makeup, I mean, you should feel like you're getting the star treatment, the star glow
Mhm.
up, right? So I'm like, yeah, do the contours that I will never do for
Right.
myself. Do the brows, like do everything, you know. And I think it's so much fun. I mean, not that I mean, I predominantly do not wear any makeup, and I am all of that. I don't know if this is like a type of face or person or complexion where it's like even when I do my own makeup, it doesn't look like I have done anything to myself. So
Right.
it's it really is a skill set, is what I'm trying to say. Like makeup artistry, you literally are an artist. You're painting people's faces, and there's such a transformation, and you don't have to just wait until your wedding day for that. You should be doing it for like consistently.
Yes, and I would like to, I was just saying actually today that I'd like to be more known as a makeup artist that can, service anybody at any time. It's not just specifically a wedding makeup artist, for any event or headshots or things like that. I'm available for everything.
Maybe we need to like bring back the beauty bar at Palette, and then you just like set up shop on, like, you have office hours, like office
Absolutely.
hours, and just come in and get it all done. And then this is the thing, you don't actually have to go anywhere. You can just like
Right.
do nothing, and it could be just for yourself. There was this woman that I followed like years ago, and she did this whole thing about how she always looked done up. She always has like a full face of makeup on, and and she was never going anywhere. She works from home, and I think she has a podcast, but she like never really was going anywhere. And she was like, yeah, that's the point. I dress up for myself. I
Yeah.
wear something really like pops of color, and I change my lips. I always wear like I do it all, and I do it all for me, because this is what I need to feel like my best self when I'm getting up in the morning. So if we can instill or embark some wisdom on people to just do it up every day to an extent. don't create unreasonable expectations, but and when you switch it up, it like totally changes your, just like you switch up your hair. I mean, I got my hair cut like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, who is this? Watch out.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, I think makeup is it is a confidence booster. I mean, it's hard for me because I have a young daughter and I don't want her to think growing up in life that you need to have makeup to look and feel beautiful. But for me, it's just that creative aspect. And I just love when you have a before and after of it's like a painting, you have that before picture of all your flaws and everything, and then you go and you can basically paint your face and put makeup and different colors and contouring and all that, and the outcome, it's really cool to see. And
Yeah,
I
it's fun.
I get that when I do weddings, and I do makeup trials here at Palette. That's what I've been using it for. When I first joined, I was going to use it for like office days to, for the makeup business. And then I reached out to Marcella one day and asked if I could bring my clients here. And she was like, absolutely. Because I used to bring them to my house, and, I have my child around, I have cats, always had to make sure my house was clean. And it wasn't as professional. So now I usually book the boardroom out and I bring my clients here for their trials or if for an event, whatever. But on the day of the wedding, I feel like my creativeness is so much more than when I do their trial. And not that it comes out different, but I feel like it comes out so much better because I'm like in the mode and everybody's around and everybody's happy and the bride has her outfit on or her dress, and it just gives me that little extra boost of creativity. But it's so fun because you start out with this blank slate, and then at the end, it's just this transformation, and it's just, I get excited when I see it.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're clearly passionate about it. Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah, and you're like, I just did that.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. Well, when is the next makeup class that you're doing? Because you do your trials, right, with your clients or potential clients, and then you also do classes, which I was dying to go to a couple weeks ago, and I had to miss it, and then you had to miss it, so it ended up being perfect for me. But when is the next one? Do we have one scheduled?
Not yet. I actually just spoke to Marcella. I do have to get one on the calendar. I'm hoping for September. I'm just looking, because it is crazy with wedding season too. And then of course having my daughter. So I'm trying to plan out the postponed date. I unfortunately had to cancel while I was sick. So I'm gonna shoot for September. So I do also use Palette for that, which is wonderful. And I did one class already. It was a major success. And I really want to build off of my business by doing other things and offering other services, which is huge for me. I'm older in this industry. I'm 43. So I'm looking as to the point of when I can't be standing at weddings all day long doing 10 girls, how else can I build off of
Yeah.
my business and add on to it so I can prolong it as long as I can.
Yeah. I mean, it's all, yeah, you have to think about, the next trajectory and the sustainability of it,
Mhm.
and also how to scale it. I think
Yeah.
I believe that there's so much opportunity and potential in what you're doing. It's such a skill set that like I totally wish that I could, do. And so I'm rooting for you. And I obviously, Palette is yours to
Yeah.
build off of and take advantage of, and make sure you're getting the ROI on it, and making sure that it's adding to more revenue, right?
Right.
And I think that I think we talked all about Marcella. I can't rave enough about her. She is what is like the glue that keeps everyone together. It keeps me grounded, and I think Palette is such a great way to share
Mhm.
Marcella's skill set and just outlook and perspective on life, and just it's unbelievable. So I don't think we don't do a very good job of communicating just how powerful Marcella is. And like when we call her a unicorn, it's not because like, oh, we're being cute and she's a unicorn, it's like she truly is. She can do everything. She
Mhm.
manages so much. She's so valuable, and not just to me. I mean, it's like everyone utilizes Marcella's skill set and support. And so anyway, thank you. I'm so happy that you came on and you did it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah, now you'll be going live every day talking about makeup stuff. I hope.
Well, that's actually another thing that I've been trying to bring myself to do on Instagram and, all the social media platforms.
Yes,
But I haven't had the strength or confidence to do it yet. So maybe this will be my push.
this is the jump. This is the tipping point, as they say.
Yes.
And also like it's kind of hard not to do the thing that you say you're gonna do when you're on alive on like all of social media right now.
People are
So
holding me to it.
we'll hold you to it, and if not, you just told the world, millions
Yes.
and millions of people are gonna watch this. I mean,
Yes.
come on, you got to put yourself out there now.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm happy to see you in Palette, using the
Yes, I'm
program.
here right now.
Yes, awesome. We are going to be live again and again and again today. We're doing like a little marathon today. So
Great.
stay tuned if you would like to hear more from our amazing, incredible, ambitious women at Palette. And if you want to get in touch with Fawn, she's on Instagram. She's also listed on our page on our website. If you want to DM me, I will connect you with her. And you'll be seeing more of her. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Bye, Fawn.